welcome to the Second Language Acquisition Show. Today, the video is going to show an extract from a class of 6th graders. In this class, the students have to design some questions to be asked to students from higher levels. So the topic in this occasion is going to be daily routine. So we're going to watch a small extract of the class, and then we are going to move to the analysis according to the Rod Ellis' book. Let's go.
What other questions? Yes. So, how is the Yes. So, what questions can you ask? Yes. What questions can you ask? What breakfast? Why have to breakfast? Okay. Yes. Yes. Very good. But we can also ask another kind of food, yes? Not only yes. I can say, do you take cereal for breakfast? Yes? Do you? No. No? No. Yes. Do you take agua de panelita for breakfast? Question. How do you say agua de panela in English? Agua panelation. You see correct? Water panelation. Yes, is correct? No. Water panela. Yes? How do you say it? For breakfast. Do you have another question to ask? I have breakfast that? Cereal. What do you prefer? So please, or sucaritas?
In this video, we can watch the way in which a group of students from 6th grade develop and perform their communicative skill and their English language level. Here, we can also observe that many of the studies that Rod Ellis presents in his book are evidential. It is evident that we can check language transfer, we can check learner errors, we can check the pragmatic aspects of language learner, we can also check how is the classroom interaction, we can also check the diversity or a small part of methods that teacher uses in order to teach his students and how to develop the speaking skill. However, an important question comes to my mind. Are my students acquiring their second language, or are they learning the second language? If we check how the history has said to us about it, we can go to visit Crushing. He exposed that acquire is a natural process. There is no consciousness about the linguistic structures, but on the other side, he says that learning is a conscious process that normally occurs within the classroom. On the other hand, Rod Ellis said in his book that there is not a clear distinction between acquisition and learning because it is possible for learners to acquire or to learn roles independently and at separate times. The different studies presented in his book can mean several very different things when we talk about acquisition or learning. That's why he remarks that fact. Besides what Rod Ellis has said in his book, we can say that it is not important to stay in these two definitions, but to concentrate on the results that their studies or the compilation of these have come. If we as teachers pay attention to some of these aspects, we can get to have a better performance for our students in our classes. First, the individual differences of our apprentices. Many of us assume that our students learn in the same way, but it is not true. Each of them is a different universe. This is evident in their age, their beliefs to learn a second language according to their experience, their learning styles, their motivation to learn, and their personality. These aspects seem to disappear when we have to complete with a series of issues that are demanded by the curricula of the educational institutions to which we belong. This leads to us to think that our classes should focus on the way we teach and not on what students learn. In addition, the social special contexts in which they live are different from each other. Another aspect to consider is the performance of our students when they address a topic. Rod Ellis compiles a series of common mistakes made by learners of a second language: overgeneralization, ignorance of rule restraints, incomplete application of grammatical rules, and false concepts posed as hypotheses are evident in the classroom. It is at this moment where our duty as second language teachers is to guide our students to realize these errors and avoid the fossilization of them. It is likely that they will not reach a level of pronunciation similar to that of a native speaker. As teachers, we must emphasize in our students that we form should not always be about the background. That is, the effectiveness of what is meant is much more important. Likewise, it is important that second language teachers take into account the social cultural aspects of our students. Many times we idealize the foreign language as a unique goal to achieve, and we fall into social stereotypes where only perfection fits. We must emphasize in our students that the second language is appropriate for our culture to be used in our own way.
In conclusion, I would like to highlight something that is evident and that we discussed in class, but that we have avoided underlining. It is more important to know how our students learn and not only focus on how to teach. The cognition of our students should be the center of our teaching practices. Many times we prefer classes with the objective of fulfilling the guidelines of a book or preparing our students for evaluations, but we have the apprentices invisible during the process. However, what Rod Ellis proposes is very important. Its application in our teaching practice is even more so. Theory is important, but not applying it is an error. Thank you very much.